Hello everybody, it's Teresa Horn from Sisterhood of Strong. I want to talk to you today about your minimum viable day. Now, that term is taken from minimum viable product, which is I think like an industry, factory, production type term, but it really speaks to about what is your minimum viable product, the baseline or the bare minimum of what a product is going to look like. And that takes judgment and discernment and some tweaking to figure out what it is. So we're going to take that same terminology and flip it for our use and how we live our lives, our minimum viable day. So when we're building a healthy lifestyle, we're completely reframing how we live our lives, and we are building new habits. Really, new habits is the key to changing your life forever. So we're building new habits, and we're gonna have days where we're like, yeah, all into it, and we're feeling like we're on top of our game. And then we'll have days where we're not feeling it and we don't want to do anything. We don't want to do anything healthy. We don't want to do anything positive. We just kind of want to So what's your minimum viable day? Because today you might not be feeling it, but then tomorrow you'll look back and say, man, I don't know what I was thinking. I should have at least done what? So creating your minimum viable day is going to take some judgment on your part. It's going to take some discernment, and it's going to take some tweaking. So I'm going to give you an example. For one of my minimum viable days is 10,000 steps. Now, that is Monday through Saturday, because on Sunday, generally I don't get 10,000 steps because part of the day is set aside for worship, and that means I'm not doing a lot of walking. Sometimes it does, but most of the time I don't get 10,000 steps on Sunday because it's a day for rest for me. But every other day, I'm going for 10,000 steps. And that might mean, real honest with y'all, that might mean that I'm walking in place for some portion of the day, because I didn't have a day where I did a lot of movement, especially with this time COVID. I'm not going out a lot of places, so I have to be very intentional to get my steps in. But 10,000 steps is a minimum viable day for me. What's a minimum viable day for you? It might be 6,000 steps. It might not have anything to do with steps at all. It might be that a minimum viable day for you is that you have at least one salad. It might be that you only have one cup of coffee. It might be that you spend 30 minutes walking your dog. What's a minimum viable day for you? Can you see how when we set that level, it's a habit that we're building. It's a minimum that we're always going to consistently hit, no matter what the day is. When my oldest son was younger, he took violin lessons, and his violin teacher was amazing. And one of the things that he said to my son was, you practice every day. And we were like, every day? And he's, every day. If you wake up and you eat, then you can practice that violin. So that meant if you're sick and you don't eat, then you don't have to practice. But those days when you're sick, but you still feel like you can eat, then you can practice your violin. You may not practice the whole time that you would practice if you had a really great day. So maybe on a great day, you practice your violin for an hour. But on the minimum day, the days where you're not feeling great, you only practice 15 minutes, but you still practice. Do you see how we have that range? So there's a great day where we do lots. So a great day for me, like today, leg day, I did legs, and I'm going to get my 10,000 steps, and I'm going to teach later. So there's a lot of activity happening on today. A day where I didn't feel great, or I wasn't really feeling it, I made sure that I got my 10,000 steps in, but I was on the struggle bus. I had to, do an extra lap around the neighborhood and, whatever, but I got my minimum viable day in. So my challenge for you is to create your minimum viable day and stick to it, because it's going to help you build a healthy lifestyle that you can do throughout. And you're going to use judgment, and you're going to use discernment, and then you're going to have a little bit of wiggle room to figure out what really works for you and what you can be consistent with, because this is a lifestyle we're building. We're building a healthy lifestyle so we can live our full purpose, because that's why you were created. So I hope that helps you. That's your challenge. Create your minimum viable day. I'll talk to you guys later.